here. So this is my answer to their stone horrendous balance. Um, it's hard enough to get the metal, let alone get the paste as well. It's like a double. It's not even a double-edged sword because it's not really even in our favor. Um, they've just made stone far too impossible. I have an entire. Let's see here, 2-3 days. I think probably about 50, 60 hours or so on this of doing nothing but grinding straight. Just think about that. I got most of the dock area done. I got to do a whole lot more out front here. Uh, let's run around it here. Just the outside here so we can see. Alright. And that's just the door, you know. The door is mostly a lot of alloys, which are hard enough to get themselves to get that kind of alloy, that amount of alloy all at once. That is a ton of foundation blocks. I think it was 34 each corner. So there's still a ton to get done on this. It's not even close to finished. And this is the outside. Trying to listen for wildlife and stuff. Alright, here we go. See, I'm taking shots of this because I wouldn't put it behind the team to destroy my brig and stuff out front and destroy the sign because it's there. I'm not trying to be lippy. I'm being serious. There are tons of, 50, 60 hours at least of non-stop grinding, guys, okay? Trying to get the materials for this. That is a ton of work, okay? And so I'm not interested in them adding that metal that high and the paste. Each one of them is a huge obstacle by themselves. Some of you might have access to tons of metal. We don't. We only have a few spots here that you can actually get a decent amount of metal. And by decent, I mean probably about 500 metal. And 500 metal is like, what, 12 pieces? 12 walls or something? It's nothing. And it'll take over an hour to get that much every time. And then you have to babysit the heck out of it, and it's in a location way up there on that mountaintop. You got to babysit it in order to get it that frequent. And that's not counting the paste. The paste is a whole nother issue. There are no sweets, syrups, and stuff on this island. That organic paste is a huge sail load out, and then a massive grind, because you're not going to leave the area and you're not going to be able to bring enough food for the area. So you're just going to infinitely die and grind over there until you fill a ridiculous number of lockers with syrup and stuff in order to get back here. And that's really the reality of what's happened now that stone has been butchered. And I'm not sure what happened with the damage. I don't know if it's like explosives do 2.5 times more damage to it or something. I have a feeling that the damage or something, I heard something on, I'm not sure if that's correct, but if it is, that's even outrageous. I could see explosives doing damage to it, sure. Okay, but this is stone. It shouldn't be like a win button against stone is explosives. It's already bad enough that you can sink ships in so many ways right now. I feel so bad for the PvP server. It's just outrageous how many ways that you can go through. I should do that too. I should go jump on a server, a PvP server, and show you guys all the different ways you can sink ships now and how fast you can sink them. I see a lot of people out there that are fumbling in PvP because they don't really understand how everything works. And so you're not seeing how quickly you can actually decimate ships. So anyhow, it's the outside. The inside isn't anything like... Let's see here. These are 4 high, mostly to keep garbage predators out, because they still like to glitch through walls, and that's actually why these are, if you look, yep, they're all double thick. And that's because I believe they can glitch through 1, and they could probably glitch through 2 too if someone really wants to push the thing that far. And so yeah, this entire project has been permanently put on hold until Stones turns to something more reasonable. In the meantime, instead of spending time on this, I'll be spending time on private servers, looking for answers that are outside the official devs balancing hands. To the devs, I know you guys are working hard, but there are a lot of us out there that see your balances as moves in the wrong direction. And to be honest, I would rather see the bug fixes instead of more balancing and more content. To me, the base game is still in pretty bad shape. Um, things glitching through walls, glitching through floors, glitching through ceilings and ships, destroying loads of time and killing tames and losing tames to who knows where because they fell through a floor and you have no idea when. DCing, DCing and falling through the floor of your ship when you're entering other areas. Things like that to me are far more important than new content. I would rather see bug fixes. The latest bug fix to the... I'm not going to say it's a bug fix. The fix to the... to the rafts and stuff. Yeah, you can come up here, look through various things here. This has not been finished. And it won't get touched until Stone gets to something reasonable. And I wouldn't be surprised if the devs get upset because certain properties go dormant or whatever, and probably implement something that says if you don't stay, busy on it, then we'll remove it. And many of us, our answer to that is going to be, well, you have your official servers, go for it. Do what you got to do, and we'll go play on private. And we won't be pushing videos for people to go to official because official is not in the hands of people that are balancing well, in our opinion. We feel like the game is already hard enough. It's hard enough trying to keep up with all the bugs. It's hard enough out here trying to survive to even get materials. Okay, because I know around every corner there could be another alpha or another set of snakes or something that could poison my tames or whatever and get myself killed and get me killed and lose equipment and stuff. It's just happened so many times. You guys make it harder and harder and harder. It's like you don't have an off switch. You think it needs to be more and more extreme. And in our opinions, that's heading in the wrong direction. PVE is supposed to be a whole lot more relaxed and enjoyable, and from what I've seen in Atlas, it's not. It's not much different than PvP, other than on PvP you get a whole lot more of the toxic stuff because people think it's okay to commit hate crimes in a video game, but that's a whole nother video in itself. So yeah, it's crazy. They've balanced these things. Well, I'll say quote unquote balanced. They've altered. I'm not going to call it a balance. They've altered things to a point where a lot of us are not interested in playing official until it gets fixed. So this entire thing and the rest of our properties have been put on hold with Stone until things are returned to a reasonable level. Alright, we're just going to go up here. And again, guys, I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful in any way. This is truly just, a set of players, myself and some teammates and whatnot, that disagree with it so much that official is currently going to be put on postpone until some reasonable balances go in and these horrendous ones get repaired. And we'd like to see those other bugs fixed as well, too, because they're destroying game time. They're destroying resources. They're destroying our efforts. I can't speak for other players other than the teams and stuff and the people I've spoken with, but there are a group of us out there that we don't like our time being wasted when it's something that could be fixed. So I'm not really sure what the holdup is. I'm sure you have multiple people working in multiple areas, but the glitching through walls and floors and all that nonsense, I mean, it should be gone. That should have been gone inside of the first couple weeks. I'm concerned that's going to be a bug that just carries on for months. And besides that, until Stone returns to normal, reasonable levels, projects like this and other projects that are going on elsewhere will be put on hold. And we wish you the best, guys, with Atlas. We know you guys are working hard and trying to do your best, but it's just going in the wrong direction. So yeah, this one will be put on hold. This was the current one I was working on. I had another property back over there too, actually right back behind that big rock right there, directly on the other side of that big rock. And it too has been put on hold until Stone returns to reasonable levels. It was hard enough grinding all this. I mean, I was grinding my butt off, and it was not fun. I'm just going to put that out there. Okay, it's not fun grinding for 40, 50, 60 plus hours. And then to look that the project is barely even touched, it might be at like the 15% mark. And there's hundreds of hours more left in order to get it done. Um, so yeah, I don't trust her being out there like that. I know that things glitch through walls, which is crazy. Yeah, it already takes too much time. It's like you can't have a life outside of Atlas. Have to get that later. It's like you can't have a life outside of Atlas because you're trying to keep things maintained here. And so that's the wrong direction. Okay, we're not all trying to become lifers. Um, so yeah, if you guys would please fix the issues here. This is unsatisfactory. So we're gonna call it here. Um, yeah, I'm very old. I know I'm old. I need to go find the Fountain of Youth. And I don't like the way that was done either. And I'm just throwing it out tail end of the video, but death runs for the Fountain of Youth, why don't you make content that's actually playable by a decent team? Maybe a team of 4 to 6 people that we could go through and play it and actually stand a chance instead of these endless death runs that people are doing in order to get to the fountain, and then they sail all the way over there and then they find out it's been moved because it's not staying put long enough. Okay, not going to chase that stuff down. Not going to blow, 10, 20, 30 plus hours trying to get to the fountain with something that's not balanced. It was just thrown into the game. At least that's what it looks like from our perspective. So please balance the stuff so it's playable by a decent sized team, and keep it in places longer. And it needs to be in a solid place for at least 2 days. That's real world days, not game days. 2 days straight. It needs to be somewhere solid, for it to be at least considerable. To be considered. Sorry, to be considered. All right, y'all. This is DC Auto Ecstasy. Like, subscribe, and we'll see where the next one takes us. We'll see if we're not on a private server, if we're out doing something else. Maybe if they fix the fountain, we'll go chase down the fountain or something. But for now, we're kind of hitting a dead end. Building has come to a halt. The fountain is at a halt. We're just waiting. Like, what else are you going to do? This is the PVE server. We could go do treasure chests and all that, but then we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that'll be the answer. All right, y'all. See you in the next.